Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria, where we are currently still truced with Britain. I would like to turn our attention a little bit over to the Caribbean. Now, West Indies has a defensive pact with Spain. Do we care about Spain? Oh no, we don't care about Spain. Spain is irrelevant. So what would we need to go after here? So it looks like there is New France down here. We've got West Indies, we've got Spain, and we've got Haiti and Cuba. So I kind of want to check Cuba first here. What do we got? They owe an obligation to Russia. Interesting. Let's just do a conquer state of Cuba. We believe that Prussia and Spain may ally with Cuba. That doesn't matter. Completely and totally irrelevant there. So I think we go ahead and confirm this. Let's grab Cuba. Beautiful. So this revolution isn't going to happen, right? It is, for propertied women, it's stuck at 50%. It's going to go away eventually. That'll be fine. We are working on our unemployment issue. I don't know how successfully, but our radicalism is dropping, actually. We're in a contested government right now, and we're going to be out of debt very soon here. 2 weeks, to be precise. That's actually a huge deal. So we can consider cutting our taxes at this point, down to like here. Yeah, not further than that right now, but to about this point. Cool. And now we have gold reserves. Okay, I like it. So cutting our taxes a little bit will cause loyalists to continue to come upwards, so that's good. And we'll see what ends up happening here. Nobody is on the side of Cuba right now. Okay, Prussia sided with Cuba. That's okay. Are they in another war right now? They are. So I don't know how much they'll actually worry about this. I expect Cuba to back down. I really do. It's only the one state, so that looks good. And we'll see how that ends up going. Our workplace safety office and health system investments were just decreased. So that will help our annual projected pop growth shrink. We're having a hard time keeping up with our number of unemployment, but we're actually kind of holding the unemployment numbers firm, right? We're not really beating the unemployment numbers, but we're not really losing to them either. That said, as we conclude a lot of our constructions, that will probably get a bit better. Let's check in on our status here. Surprisingly, that all looks good. We don't actually need to build any railways. Shocking. Paper is expensive. We are not surprised about this. And all of these states are in turmoil. Yeah, that's to be expected for right now. We are working on bringing down our amount of radicals. So that number is looking good. Okay. Do we think that this war is actually going to happen? If so, we're going to need probably an additional admiral. If the war is going to happen. Let's see what happens as we enter the countdown to war. They're going to back down, right? They're definitely going to back down. Our enemy, New France. I don't think New France is in this. Okay, yeah, they declared neutrality, and Cuba backed down, as expected. So we now control Cuba. Beautiful. So, of course, we need to do some work here. I also want to immediately do the same thing to Haiti. Nobody cares about Haiti, so we are going to... There's actually 2 states here. We've got Haiti, and we've got Santo Domingo. We're going to make Santo Domingo be the primary. And then we're going to add to that this one. Hello, pause menu. We're going to add in Conquer State Haiti. There we go. Cool. So that'll be fine. We're going to get that going. But in the meantime, we do need to work on Cuba. So livestock ranches, rice farms, banana plantations are actually pretty valuable. Banana plantations are actually the best. Okay. So we'll queue up to 78 there. Fantastic. We can get some coal mines on Cuba. We can get some iron mines on Cuba. We can get an oil rig. Only the one. We can get a few logging camps in here. We can get a couple of rubber plantations and some fishing wharves. Okay, sounds good. Is there any rail on here? No. We're going to need at least 5, but I'm actually going to queue up like 10 at the top of the priority list. Okay, there we go. Now, we're almost certainly going to have to do building work there, but I'm planning on annexing quite a lot of territory out here in the Caribbean for right now. Louisianan Proletarian Revolt. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Okay, New France backed down in the Louisianan Proletarian Revolt. So this is actually Louisiana now. Fascinating. We'll see about taking that over eventually as well. And we've got all of those paper mills finishing up. So that's all looking good. We've got an election coming in here with the Communist Party doing fairly well. Hopefully we'll be able to get a pretty legitimate government out of that. We'll see. So Cuba under our control is, of course, a pretty big deal. Austria sided with Haiti. So they're actually now cocky. Fascinating. They're not going to want to stay that way. We're just going to leave this be until the countdown to war. Okay, there's our election. So let's see what we've got going on here. Not a great reform. Okay. So nothing too major there. Austria was swayed here. But this is not going to go too well for them. I want to check in on Austria. Okay, they're not currently involved in any other wars. So that's noted for now. No navies. Austria's not landlocked. Okay, I just wanted to double check that. But that's fine. We're probably going to need to crank our taxes back up eventually. We'll see if this is a real actual war. It's looking like it's going to be. So that should be reasonably fine. Okay, so if this is going to be the case, let's let this tick on forward a little bit. Once we hit the countdown to war, then we're going to turn up our numbers and see if that makes them reevaluate a little bit. We're now in the countdown to war. So we are going to go into our budget. We're going to turn up our military wages. We're going to run a deficit for a little bit here. We'll see about doing something about that eventually. This port can be a modern port. And we don't need to work on our conscripts, but we can work up our navy here. And our military. Yeah, that's what I thought. And now we'll see if they back down. They backed down. Okay, so they gave us Santo Domingo. We're now truced with Haiti, and of course that means that we need to turn everything back down here. This needed to be on ironclads, not man of war. But the rest of these go down to level 1. Just for the purposes of finances. Cool. Oh, that reminds me. We need to queue up in Cuba and Santo Domingo the naval bases. That'll all be fine. Excellent. So we, of course, need to go through here and check in Santo Domingo. Livestock ranches are unprofitable. Rice farms are unprofitable. Banana plantations are a little bit profitable. Coffee is a little more profitable. We'll go with coffee. Cool. And logging camps. Not that many resources available here, but there's a few rubber plantations and some fishing wharves. Cool. I want to check in on railway status. It has 1 railway. Let's bring that up to 9. There we go. Cool. So, next, let's target Louisiana, I think. So we'll go ahead and conquer state Louisiana. We believe Prussia and Spain may side with us. Or may side against us, rather. So we'll get that started. Fantastic. We're just looking to conquer the Caribbean at this point. Who controls Bermuda? Britain. Okay. So that gives us reason to want to fight Britain, right? And there are no available war goals other than this. They're probably going to back down here. I don't think we need to make any effort towards this war at all, is my guess. So we want 2 states from Britain, Bermuda and this section over here. We also want all of this. I'm not sure we get that before the end of the game, which is in 1936. That's okay. It doesn't really matter. We are far and away the #1 power. Like, look at that prestige differential. It's insane. How are we doing on our unemployment? Actually, it's been cut down by a pretty good amount. I like it. So that's good. We are working our way through all of this. Austria sided with Louisiana again. So we're going to have the same thing going on. So let's let this tick on for a little bit. Minus 812. Oh, it's because we're building naval bases. Right. That'll do it. We should check in on our market access. We've probably got some market access issues here. Santo Domingo is also considered isolated. We need to max out the number of ports in Cuba. And let's just go ahead and do that top priority. And also in Santo Domingo. There we go. And let's just max out ports across the board. I'm doing these as top priority. Cool. And then Honduras and Panama. I wish that we could queue up multiple at top priority. Unfortunately, we cannot. And we'll bring up our number of ports in Newfoundland as well. That's something I should have been doing up until now, so that's fine. We'll get all of those ports built, and we should also check in on railways. We're going to need 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, and that's it for now. Okay, cool. That puts us back to being positive financially. We're going to let this get towards the countdown to war. They think that they have enough now, but they don't. They don't. I can tell you that for a fact. How are we doing on our radicalism? Okay, fair enough. Radicalism is starting to creep back up. But that's okay. Not too concerned about that one. I would like to get our legitimacy up a bit. It is currently 60, which isn't awful. But that is the best that we can do. So, for now, that'll be fine. Again, we're going to wait until the countdown to war, and then we're going to go after this territory out over here. Scandinavian West Indies. I didn't notice those a moment ago. Sure. We'll go after those as well. So we're going to enter the countdown to war here momentarily. There we go. We're now in the countdown to war, so we're going to bump up our military budget, and we're going to bump up our military supplies. As usual, this is suddenly going to make them realize the error of their ways. And they're going to back down any moment now. And there they go. Did we even hit a weak tick? No, so we don't even have to pay for that. Beautiful. We turn this right back down. Fantastic. So there we go. We're making over $1 million right now. Can we actually back this off? We can back our taxes off. I like it. So we'll come over to... This is now controlled by us. We'll need to incorporate these states. That's right. I haven't been doing that, have I? Yeah, we need to incorporate a bunch of these. There we go. I knew I was forgetting something. We will queue up our barracks and our naval bases at the bottom of the list. That's all fine. And checking in here, 0.62, 0.37, 1.76 for bananas. Bananas it is. Cool. So that's all well and good. I did also want to check in on ports. None to be built there. And let's see. We need at least one railway here. So we'll do that. And next up, we're going for the Scandinavian West Indies. So this is a state in Scandinavia, and we're going to have to do a conquer state here. Yeah, they're not all that strong, so that should be fine. Scandinavia and Lubeck. I don't care. Lubeck abandoned Scandinavia. Hilarious. New Granada began embargoing us. We're actually a pariah. We should let this tick down. Noted. So we're going to have to chill for a bit here. But that should be reasonably fine. Scandinavia are embargoing us. Yes. West Indies are embargoing us. Hilarious. We don't really care too much about that, to be clear. So all of this construction is ongoing, and we're going to be done with our construction queue fairly quick here. So that's looking good. They're going to back down here, and we are definitely going to chill and let our infamy drop. I would like to go after West Indies and Spain. We'd have to see just how much that would cost us. There's no possible diplomatic play while we're doing this, so for the moment, we'll have to chill on that. And we should definitely continue to check in on our market access. Okay. Panama's probably going to get some from those ports. So I'm going to leave that be for the moment. We'll only get that one building. These guys are going to back down, right? They're 100% going to back down. Almost certainly. We're just running roughshod over the Caribbean right now. It's not going to be good for them. I do want to get our truce ticking with the West Indies. $105.4. The question is, do we care about being a pariah? And that is an interesting question. A very interesting question. We'll see. I'm a little surprised they haven't already backed down. They do have a lot of people leaning Scandinavia. There we go. They backed down. Perfect. So that is what we expected, and we're going to immediately begin work on... Let's see. We should already be integrating this state, I believe. Yes. So we're going to immediately work on anything that we can do. A banana plantation. And actually 8 oil rigs. I love it. So that's good. No ports to be built. Okay. So we're currently a pariah. 105.1. Let's let that drop until it's down below 100. I do want to get a truce rolling with West Indies. How much would a hypothetical war here cost us? 20.4. 6.1 for Bahamas. Okay. Noted. For the time being, we'll let this be. We will let this be. Our number of unemployed is dropping. That's a very good sign. Now, our construction is not maxed out at this moment. I do want to go through our buildings. If we're going to chill, we should definitely get our buildings all unified. So we'll get this all done here. What else might we need? Urban centers, 2 arcades and electric streetlights. Power plants auto-expand, and we want them to be coal-fired, but publicly traded. Government administration and university. There we go. And that's all good. Okay, rice farms. Chemical fertilizers, steam-powered thresher machines, publicly traded, mechanized slaughterhouses, electric fences, refrigerized rail cars. I don't think that was the right word, but whatever. Coffee plantations, rail transportation, publicly traded. This is all looking good. Okay. So hardwood production goes in here, chainsaws, rail log carts, publicly traded. There's a number of these that still need to be done. Of course, auto expansion of this isn't really going to work, so that's fine. Tanker cars, publicly traded, and we'd love to auto expand, but there isn't any to do. Cool. Conscription centers can be brought down to the bottom level for all of these. Ports down to modern ports, and we're going to be running electric trains and government-run railways, I think. Yeah, that's the most number of bureaucrats. Cool. So there we go. That'll do for now. Now, we need to look at what our expensive goods are. This unproductive... we have these trade routes that are unproductive. We'll get rid of those. We've got a bunch of states in turmoil. No shockers there. Cool. So our infamy is going to drop down. We need that to get down to like 92. Or just declare that we don't care about infamy. That is the other option. High infamy does mean it's more likely that things like this will happen and that these guys will actually choose to participate out over here. That's definitely a minor concern. I wouldn't consider that a major concern. So, I mean, our radicalism is holding fairly steady right now. I'd like to bring our taxation level down a bit further, but it's not really a great option at this moment. So what we need right now is for our auto construction to, you know, actually queue things up to the full construction capacity. Unfortunately, I don't foresee that happening anytime soon. Because it's going to do things like this constantly. So I would very much like for that to queue up more. But it's not going to happen because it keeps getting stuck on things like power plants in New Jersey. Awkward. Very awkward indeed. Now, our GDP has been pretty leveled off for a while now. The reason for that is because we've been going through some very strange expansion periods. And that has caused our GDP to level off a bit. But that will, of course, fix itself, given enough time. As we work on integrating all this stuff, it'll be fine. I really do want our infamy to drop down a little bit more. Plus 25% from diplomatic mitigation. Okay. So we're at 103.4 at this point. And we're just chilling. I definitely do want to go after the West Indies. I can't remember. Is it a dominion or a puppet that can be annexed? I believe it's a puppet. Indeed. So we could puppet West Indies. And then up here we could puppet Canada. I think. If we were to go directly after Britain... Yeah, no possible diplomatic play because we're truced with them right now. For another couple of years, actually. So that'll be a little bit before that's ready to go. Noted. Insufficient taxation capacity is something that we can definitely deal with. And we'll go ahead and do so. Cool. Otherwise, this seems reasonably fine. Our economy seems to be solid. Like, there are no problems with it to address at this moment, which is why we're just auto-constructing. Unfortunately, our auto-construction is poorly implemented. Thanks, Paradox. And we want to have this fill out better. I want it to continue queuing until we no longer, like, max out the construction, or give us a slider to say how much of the construction do you want to be maxed out for an auto queue, or something like that. That would be nice. Unfortunately, that's not the way that it works. Sure, this guy can be promoted. Fire him. Cool. He just straight up died. I love it. So that's all fine. I would like to work down our radicalism. Enacting propertied women would be, like... That would be objectively a step back, right? No doubt about that. We could go to a council republic. I'm not sure that that's actually great. So what else could we do? We're on protected speech right now. Funnily enough, we still can't come off of racial segregation. It is not part of our laws. The chance... Okay, so we need political movements to get these done. Okay. Well, for now, there's not much of a chance of that. So propertied women has very high radicalism. Greek people are migrating to New York. Okay, sure. I want to check in 4.74 million. I feel like we need to get those jobs handled. So let's look at our income here. And let's look at our goods for military buildings. Ironclads and ammunition. Okay. Eventually, we're going to need to turn those buildings up, right? So, hypothetically, if we were to turn these up to maximum, and I'm not sure that we're going to do this right now, but if we were to turn these up to maximum, what would this end up looking like in terms of how much we're paying for military goods? Okay. Radios, ammunition, and ironclads. Ironclads are fully expected. There's not a lot, I think, that we can do about that. If we look at this shipyard here, yeah. There's not a lot that we can do about ironclads at this point. Other than, like, dropping the price of steel. Which is an interesting idea, actually. We could do that. So that would end up being something kind of like this-ish. I did that wrong, but whatever. So this would get up to +9, and then add in another 30. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then Ontario would get 5, and then add in 80. And then British Columbia, we would add 5, and then add 90. And then Newfoundland, we'd add like 99. I'm just going to do 100. So something like that. That would drop the price of steel. But we would also want to drop the price of ammunition, right? So we could definitely do that in New York, in North Dakota, and maybe even in, like, Louisiana and Virginia. Starting to get a little laggier. I don't think we can expand our shipyards. But we can do something along the lines of this. I don't want to run this deficit for now, so we're going to turn this back down. Not Man of War, Ironclad. There we go. Cool. We'll turn that back down, but that gives us some construction to work on. It is, of course, time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to see about continuing to take over the Caribbean. Maybe our infamy will drop enough. We'll see. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Ken2in, James, Shadowwolf, and Lohan80, Kentogan, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Unisol, Rogue Corvid, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.